Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast here on CNBC TV 18. Well, we spoke about the global markets. Now let's get in our research team joining in to tell you what the Indian market trade setup is looking like, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Thanks for that. Well, yes, like you've been talking about, it was a hawkish pause really from the Fed. They are undecided about July. The Fed has indicated more hikes ahead. So it was a mixed close for the US markets. But the other piece of news is China, which has cut key policy rates for the first time in 10 months because of the economic parameters being slower than anticipated. New Zealand has slipped into a technical recession as well. So all of these cues need to be kept top of mind as well. Asia largely mixed at this point in time. SGX indicating a bit of a soft start. The Nifty for yesterday was above 18,750. FII's net bought for the second consecutive day. So FII's net bought around 1,700 crores plus. DII's net sold around 654 odd crores. So overall, we'll probably dance to the tunes of the global markets in today's trading session, maybe a little bit of profit booking, but the larger trend of an up move is probably intact at this point. Just watch for a couple of factors. The Bank Nifty, which was in the red in yesterday's trading session, so that didn't participate. Metal stocks, considering that China's moves is probably going to fire up incremental, or we could see incremental buying in metal stocks, and IT stocks, any kind of incremental selling pressure, considering that JP Morgan was quite cautious in their note yesterday. So these would be a couple of points to watch out for.
Okay, all right. So that is the market setup. Thank you, Ekta, for that. Let's talk about some stocks that will be in focus today. Vivek is joining us with that list. Hey, Vivek.
Well, that's right. So, a lot of stocks to keep on your radar on the back of some important news flow that's transpired. First on our list and the biggest on our list today is Axis Bank. What we understand from our sources is that Bain Capital today is looking to sell stake up to almost $267 million via a block deal. What we understand is that the offer price range for Axis Bank block deal would be at a 0.7 to 1.4 discount to yesterday's closing price, and so the price range comes to around 964 to 977 at the upper end of the price band. So Bain Capital would be exiting close to 0.7% of the total 1.3% holding that it has in Axis Bank. Keep an eye out for HCL Tech, an important development coming in there. The company has gone ahead and expanded its partnership with Google Cloud to help on generative artificial intelligence. The company also says that it will now be required to go ahead and hire more engineers for this particular development. KFin Technologies, an interesting development over here as well. The company has gone ahead and withdrawn its application to be a depository participant with NSDL, that is the National Securities Depository Limited. They had gone and approached to become a DP on October 17, 2022. It now stands withdrawn. Keep an eye out for CDSL as well. Yesterday we saw a very large block deal along expected lines. Like we had reported, BSE has exited 4.5% stake out of the total 20% stake that it held at the end of the March quarter. We understand this was mainly to go ahead and comply with regulatory requirements. One of the largest buyers was ICICI Prudential Technology Fund, buying almost 5.28 lakh shares in the company. V-Mart Retail yesterday was a big mover. T. Rowe Price International went ahead and sold 1.9% stake in the company. It's almost a complete clean out trade from T. Rowe. The biggest buyer here was Amansa Holdings, buying almost 3.37 lakh shares company in yesterday's block deal.
Okay, a lot of stocks in focus. Of course, the big one will be Axis Bank today. Finally, let's talk about the cues from the F&O space. Manglam is joining us with that. Hey, Manglam.
Good morning. So, the Fed's hawkish pause was reminiscent of what the RBI did. It's a pause, but perhaps not a pivot. That's something we'll watch out for. The SGX Nifty, as a result of which, is indicating a start down by about 30 odd points. And that really reiterates the Nifty congestion zone that we have, 18,750 to around 18,800. The question is, will that continue even now? Because if you just take a look at it, yesterday's high was eerily similar to the high that we saw last week, which was 18,778, and yesterday's high was 18,770 itself, again telling you that there is a fair amount of congestion. What could take the Nifty out of that congestion? Outperformance from the Nifty Bank. Because if you take a look at it, again, yesterday we saw the Reliance stock contribute a fair amount to the Nifty's up move. And the second half, we saw the IT index recover from lows as well, ended just about 0.15% lower. But the Nifty Bank has been underperforming. What's good is the FII's buying in cash market. For 2 days in a row, They've bought over 1,500 crores. Yesterday it was around 1,700 odd crores as well. In index futures too, they are increasing their long exposure. So yesterday they added about 11,000 longs for about 3,000 shorts. So the long exposure for the FIIs in index futures is now at 54%. Remember, this was the short exposure, 54% just a few days ago itself. So that's been increasing. Importantly, it is weekly options expiry today. And ahead of that, we've seen both calls as well as puts being written, but there have been more calls written at higher levels around 18,750, 18,800. So both those calls come up for you, 18,750 to 18,800. Again, those guys who've written it are expecting congestion between 18,750 to 18,800 itself. Were the market to break out of that congestion? Well, we've seen some punt buying at the 18,850 call as well. As far as the puts are concerned, we've seen some writing at 18,700 and 18,750 put, telling you that the Nifty support has moved higher to 18,600 to 18,650 itself. The Nifty Bank, 44,000 is the fulcrum to watch out for. The 44,000 call and put have maximum open interest, and 44,000 is where the 20-day moving average is as well. And finally, just keep an eye out on one stock. We had pointed out that Z may enter the F&O ban, and it has indeed entered the F&O ban.
Okay, a lot happening in the Z stock as well. Thank you, Mangalam, for making sense of the F&O cues. And this is our Power Prep segment. We'll do one thing, slip into another break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the commodities market because a lot is happening there as well. Stay tuned.